Overarching learning goals or overall learning goals. In this video, I want to talk briefly about that concept to help you do your online reflections each week. I found this picture of an umbrella, and it's the best I could find. I think sometimes you've heard this expression of get under this umbrella or everything under one umbrella, or however you want to imagine it. The concept is the umbrella is arching over all of the details under a main idea. So in terms of education, we often talk about OLGs, overall learning goals or overarching learning goals, and the arching is that curved part that comes up over top. So I have a couple of examples that I wanted to share, and I'm going to use the grade 11 manufacturing one only because it's the one I have on the screen. Doesn't really matter. I posted on Google Classroom for each of the classes the first part learning goals, overarching, overall, however you want to call it, but for most parts, the slang in the school is OLGs. And the idea is you're making some very general statements about all parts of the course learning that it's an overall expectation, an overall target, an overall learning goal that generalizes the big areas in the course. So for example, in the grade 11 one, we want students to become familiar and confident with using the machines and the tools. So in all the different things we've done in the course, the expectation overall is you can use the machines confidently and safely. We do projects in the course. So again, we're expecting students to get involved and use all of the technology to make stuff. Design it, solve your problems, apply different skills, whether it's measuring, reading information, communicating with your partners. In any way, you're building these general skills using technical concepts and technical situations. That is a large part of the course. Another big idea is, where does this all fit in the world? What does it have to do with you and me out there in the world and the environment we live in and the whole industry going on out there? Again, a huge part of the course is doing stuff in the classroom, but where does it go? Where does it fit into our lives further out there? And making those kinds of connections. The last big part is being safe and learning what the practices are if some of you did choose to go into any kind of technical jobs into the world as a career, as a part-time job or whatever, that you're aware of some of those practices and expectations in the industry. And I guess connected to that, if you did pursue it after this course, what are the post-secondary things that I could choose? Engineering, robotics, marketing, manufacturing, technical hands-on, apprenticeships, trades. And that's a big part of the course too, trying to make you see that this stuff's out there. It's everywhere. So those are the overarching or overall learning goals, say, for this course. What I tried to do then is in each of the grades, I made a Google form, and it's a reflection that I'm asking each student to do every Friday after lunch, somewhere between lunch and after dinner. A little bit of a warning, it is date and time stamped, so the expectation as an assignment is that you get it done inside that window. Now, I'm posting this now the first week. It's Easter weekend, so Friday technically is not a school day. So I'm going to ask every Friday moving forward, except the first Friday. This Friday coming, you're going to do it on Thursday instead, please. Very simple form. Who are you? A bit of an honesty thing. It's going to be a challenge online to make sure each student's doing their work and not cutting and pasting and copying and swapping and all the things we know go in the background. But I want you to be honest and say, I've done this work. I've done my learning. It's going to be a challenge for me to know, and I have to trust you. Moving forward, different students will move at different paces, but I need you to reflect and say, did I go forward this week? Did I get something done? Did I feel like I improved my learning in the course? I don't want you to think you're out there on your own. I know we're doing online, we're distance at home and stuff, but if you needed help, if you want help, did you get the help you needed? And if you need help, you can reach out. Please don't be afraid to ask. Each week, I need you to summarize as a reflection what you did. What are the specific details? What have you been doing exactly? I need you to write it down in your own words. You need to use those technical skills, right? Can you explain it and properly use vocabulary so that it says what it needs to be said? How well is it going? Maybe it's not going well. Maybe you had a few successes, maybe some things flopped and it didn't work. Okay, say that, be honest. Is something catching your interest? You want to do more of it? And all of that since your last reflection. So each time you fill out this form, I want you to do the reflection based on the last time moving to this time. I don't need the whole picture, say for all of April or something, just each segment of reflection as you go. Why did I do the OLGs? Because, again, I want you to start thinking, where's all this fit into the course? In the classroom, in the building, it's easier for me to make those connections. But it's more of a challenge when you're online. So I'm hoping if you could just briefly give me some connection. The work that we did, where does it fit in to that list of learning goals? And you can say, well, that connects to OLG 2, and that's a little bit of OLG 1. And sometimes our work will overlap. It's not always just 3 or just 1. It could be a few of them. And so I'm looking for you to make that connection. Here's the big question. How long have you been actually working on this coursework? And these are just approximations. And again, I can't force you to give a right or wrong answer, but I'm looking for that honesty, please. And at the end, if you have to or you want to, you can share anything that you think I should know or you want to say to me. If things are not working or you're having trouble or whatever, and it's not coming through in the form, or for some reason there's more that you need to say, then by all means, please say that. So I'm sorry if my general example of grade 11 doesn't fit in for the other classes in grade 9 and 10 and grade 12, but I think you can make the connection. That's all.